Right, Fraser, so what is the main thing you've picked up from Block 1?
I think the main thing I've picked up from Block 1 is to just be, not think I've got to put too much content into the sessions. I think before I was quite guilty of trying to have it too structured and really overcompensate on technical movements and making it look really good for the parents, and trying to actually understand more that it's about the child's needs and the player, and not either making it look good for anyone else, and not caring not thinking that much about what the dad's thinking or the mum's thinking that are watching, and actually build the session more around the kids and making it fun for them, but then still have all of the technical aspects getting in there as well.
Excellent.
Was that a minute?
That's 55 seconds. Why do you coach?
I coach just because I love football. It's what I've done since I can remember, and yeah, I just want to pass that passion and that enjoyment and the thrill of that on to as many kids as possible. And then also my son plays as well, so that was the main thing from getting into coaching, really, is just to pass that on to him, and then that snowballed into wanting to do that to as many kids as possible and provide an environment for kids in the town of Hailsham for them to improve and to realise that they can achieve things and they can get better.
Okay. What do you need to work on?
I think I need to work on sort of a little bit like I mentioned in the first question, is to making things more like have more fun in trying to keep, especially because I teach mainly under 7s and under 8s, so trying to get the sessions a lot more game related. Obviously I do games and I make things fun at the end, but actually, because I was used to coaching sort of academy kids who are really at a certain level and really good technically, the more I'm coaching kids in Hailsham that haven't played football so much, I can't get away with simply having like 4 cones and then really relying on them pinging the ball in and having a good natural touch, etc. I've got to make them want to have fun, so they come back to the next session, and then we can slowly grow their technique and let them improve. So yeah, I think that's what I've got to work on at the moment.
Excellent, cool. What's your philosophy?
My philosophy is mainly about having fun, and football is like an entertainment sport as far as I'm concerned, so making the game as fast paced and exciting as possible, and encouraging, I feel the right way to play is not necessarily overplaying and playing too much, but it's an attacking brand of football. It's all about scoring as many goals as possible and just making it as fun as possible for the kids, or even the adults. If I'm coaching the Hailsham first team or reserves a little bit, to still play, to still make it enjoyable, because I played for a quite high standard for many of years, and I've played under many of coaches who I didn't want to play under because it was very boring, it was defence orientated and the sessions were dull. So yeah, I want to make sure people are coming away from every session that they feel as if they've achieved something and they feel as if they're having fun as well.
Excellent. What are your players' needs? So if you maybe summarise a couple of players.
Yeah, I think my players' needs, because you've got quite a range of different ability levels, and so some of their needs, for example, we had 2 of our players get picked up from Brighton at the weekend, so players like that, it's then pushing them to make sure they're not being held back and getting all the technical aspects of the games in. And then you've got other kids who are turning up and maybe playing their first ever game of football. So it's that real range of knowing when to push maybe someone from the 7s up to the 8s, so they're not getting held back. And then at the end of the day, just making it as fun as possible for the kids, so they actually want to come back. So I think that's their needs, because they just want to play games, they want to have fun, they want to socialise with their friends, and it adds to all sorts of other benefits as well, that will then help them in future life and at school, etc. So it's just installing that work rate and that ability for them to want to work hard.
Okay,
that's
excellent.
Important.
So what are the benefits of building positive relationships with players?
I think I touched on something like that a second ago. Again, positive relationship with players, if they feel as if they can trust you and they think it's positive, they will then try new things, try things that they necessarily don't want to do. For example, if you've got the kid who's blatantly all right-footed and they don't want to kick with their left, a lot of them say to me, well, I can't kick with my left foot, but you've got to teach them that they actually can if they practice in the right way. They want to do it, and then they sort of slow the movement down and give it 2 or 3 weeks, and then you've got the kids almost the same technique as their right foot, kicking with their left. And I don't think you get that trust in the kids to feel as if they can do it. They've got to believe in what you're saying, and that's going to be easier if you have a positive relationship with them.
Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball that's not in this question.
Okay.
But what about from a social perspective? What about by having a positive relationship with children? Would they come to you?
Yes. So if they've got, good question. If they've got a positive relationship, you don't know what's going on in their home life or at school or any troubles that they're going through. So you want football to be a release where they can come and feel as if they've got someone else that they can potentially talk to, or so you want it to be a release from them, because like I say, you don't know what else they're going through. So that's the benefit of it being positive.
Good. Throw a curveball there. So, how do you feel your sessions have gone since Block 1? Or how they've changed?
I feel they've changed because I've maybe stepped back a little bit more and seen maybe the bigger picture, and not doing the sort of bad habits I mentioned to start about really making it maybe too intense and too about technical, and really in understanding that's not everyone's belief and what everyone is coming to training for, to go on to play for a Brighton or whatever. They might just be coming having to have fun, and they're really not that interested in going any further. They're just coming to play football to have fun with their mates. So I think that's one of the things I've taken away already from Block 1.
How has Block 1 helped with player profiling?
I think I've always been conscious of that anyway, from coaching at, say, All Stars and things, because obviously parents are paying a lot of money to come to the sessions, so you've got to make sure, because their training is usually more about the individual and less about the team. So you do have to do a lot of player profiling when you're putting on sessions, but it's definitely made me think about it a little bit more, and trying to review that and improve it going forward.
Excellent. How has Block 1 helped with linking training to match days?
I think that's been really useful, because it's not necessarily something I've done a lot of, because where I've coached previously, it has been about training the individual and not really for a team. The more games we play and tournaments that we play, you then start to see, you get into training things that they necessarily didn't do well in the game, and then when you actually then go to the game and they actually do what you've been working on, it's really rewarding. So I do like that side of it as well.
Excellent. That's your 10 questions.
Thank you.